The Cincinnati Open 2026 draw is officially out, and the road to the title looks absolutely brutal. Aryna Sabalenka is the #1 seed. Coco Gauff is seeded 4th. Aryna Sabalenka is right there in the mix. And rising star Alex Eala has been handed a seriously challenging path in one of the biggest tournaments of the North American hardcourt swing. But here's where things get really interesting. Sabalenka and Gauff are placed in the same half of the draw, meaning a blockbuster semifinal between these two superstars is possible. And for Alex Eala, the story could be even more dramatic. She has earned a major seeding position, but her projected route could put her up against some of the biggest names in women's tennis. So who has the easiest path? Who has the toughest road? And could Alex Eala shock the tennis world once again? Let's break down the entire Cincinnati Open draw. Tennis Cincinnati Open 2026 is here. The 2026 Cincinnati Open is one of the final major stops before the US Open. The WTA 1000 event begins on August 13th and runs through August 23rd at the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio. And the women's field is absolutely stacked. Aryna Sabalenka leads the draw as the #1 seed. Aryna Sabalenka is #2. Jessica Pegula is #3. And Coco Gauff enters as the #4 seed. That means several of the biggest stars in women's tennis are already positioned for potential blockbuster matches. But the biggest storyline? The potential Sabalenka-Gauff showdown. Sabalenka versus Gauff. Could it happen? Let's start with the matchup everybody is talking about. Aryna Sabalenka versus Coco Gauff. Two of the biggest stars on the WTA Tour. Two completely different styles. Sabalenka brings enormous power, aggressive baseline tennis, and one of the most intimidating games in women's tennis. Gauff brings speed, athleticism, defensive ability, and an increasingly dangerous all-around game. And the Cincinnati draw has created a possible route for these two to meet in the semifinals. The projected quarterfinals currently include Sabalenka versus Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff versus Mirra Andreeva. If those projected quarterfinals happen, Sabalenka and Gauff would have to survive their respective quarterfinal battles before potentially meeting in the Final Four. Imagine that matchup. Sabalenka's power against Gauff's movement. That could be one of the biggest matches of the entire tournament. Collision Sabalenka's road. Aryna Sabalenka enters Cincinnati as the top seed. That immediately puts enormous expectations on her. She will receive a first-round bye, meaning her tournament begins in the second round. From there, the challenge gets progressively harder. Sabalenka's projected quarterfinal opponent is Aryna Sabalenka. That would be a fascinating clash because Svitolina can absorb pressure and force opponents to construct points carefully. Sabalenka, meanwhile, will want to take control as quickly as possible. If Aryna is serving well and keeping her unforced errors under control, she can be extremely difficult to stop. But Cincinnati is not a tournament where anybody can afford to relax. One bad match can end a title run. And with Gauff potentially waiting in the semifinal, Sabalenka knows the margin for error is tiny. Coco Gauff's side of the draw. Now let's talk about Coco. Gauff is the #4 seed and also receives a first-round bye. Her projected quarterfinal opponent is Mirra Andreeva, another young star who has already established herself as a major force on the WTA Tour. That could be an incredibly entertaining matchup. Gauff's speed and defense would be tested against Andreeva's ability to redirect pace and compete from the baseline. But before Gauff can even think about a potential Sabalenka semifinal, she has to survive several rounds. And that's the key. A draw can look perfect on paper, but tennis is played one match at a time. Alex Eala's Cincinnati Challenge. Now we get to one of the most exciting stories. Alex Eala. The Filipino star has been given a major opportunity in Cincinnati. Eala is the #17 seed, giving her one of the highest seedings of her career at a WTA 1000 event. And that is a huge milestone. But the draw? Not easy at all. Eala receives a first-round bye. According to the projected route, she could face Magda Linette in the second round, followed by a possible meeting with Amanda Anisimova in the third round. Then the potential fourth-round challenge could be Linda Noskova. And if she keeps winning, a projected quarterfinal against Jessica Pegula could await. That's an incredibly demanding path. And it tells you exactly how difficult a WTA 1000 tournament can be. Police Garlight Eala's potential road to the semifinal. Let's break it down. Round 1. Bye. That's valuable because Eala gets additional preparation and recovery time. Crystal ball, my big tournament prediction. So who do I think has the best chance to win? Sabalenka has to be considered one of the biggest favorites simply because she's the number 1 seed and has the power to dominate on hard courts. But Gauff should absolutely be in the conversation. Her movement and return game can create problems for anyone. Rybakina has the weapons to destroy a draw if she finds her best level. And Swiatek can never be counted out. As for Eala, I'm not saying she's guaranteed to make the semifinals. But I am saying this. Do not underestimate her. She's already shown that she can produce breakthrough results. And if she gets through the first few rounds, confidence could become a very dangerous weapon. The Cincinnati Open draw has given us everything. A potential Sabalenka versus Gauff semifinal. A dangerous route for Alex Eala. Rybakina waiting on the other side. Swiatek lurking. Pegula ready to challenge. And a massive WTA 1000 title on the line. The tournament hasn't even started yet. And the storylines are already massive. So now I want to hear from you. Who will go further in Cincinnati? Coco Gauff or Aryna Sabalenka? And most importantly, how far can Alex Eala go? Can she survive this brutal draw? Can she reach the quarterfinals? Could we actually see Eala in another WTA 1000 semifinal? Drop your prediction in the comments. And if you're following Coco Gauff, Aryna Sabalenka, Alex Eala, Iga Swiatek, Elena Rybakina, and all the latest WTA action, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because Cincinnati is about to begin. And with a draw this stacked, anything can happen.